You're here on the Community Sports Show.
Look out, it's Wednesday night and it's cricket season, which must mean it's the Perth Swan Cricket Association Midweek show. Welcome, welcome, welcome wherever you are across this big wide globe. You're here with me, Noel Knowlesy Johnston, coming to you live on the Community Sports Show tonight. Sadly, nobody here. I had plan A, I had plan B, I had plan C, even went for a plan D. Didn't quite work out, so as you can see over here, there's a spot available for you if you want to come and join me in the studio each week. Peasy is mostly unavailable, and we're hoping, well, the expectation, not hope, is that the host club from the upcoming weekend will provide a guest. Tonight they weren't able to, so unfortunately I am solo, but that doesn't mean I've not got a lot to get through wherever you are. All of this information is proudly brought to you thanks to ID Athletic and Vision Decor, our fabulous platinum sponsors. Just re-signing if you want all your apparel, whether it's playing, social, merchandise. ID Athletic can help hook you up and help build your club's identity, while Vision Decor, curtains, blinds, awnings, and even hybrid floorings. Mike and Lisa Ash out there in Malaga doing great work because they're great people with great products at great prices. All right, that's about it. Really, we're going to get through plenty. 13 grades, 86 teams to mention tonight, and we'll get through every single one of them. However, before I start, I just want to point out that we've had a bit of a quiz, a survey, call it what you like. We've had a post up on our page for the last few days asking if there's any interest from across the Perth Swan Cricket Association community, or the wider cricket community for that matter, on whether we should introduce a sports of all sorts type of award, a spirit of sport award if you like, for those competitors who won't get a mention tonight other than a dishonourable one, who just get out there and take part like me every week. Get out, have a go. Not going to worry about my own stats, just going to worry about having a good time. So I'd love your feedback throughout the show if you can. Just drop a comment in there. The first one tonight will score an ID Athletic singlet and bucket hat, exclusively part of the Community Sports Show merch, thanks to ID Athletic. All right, no guest, so we've saved, 5-10 minutes there. That's the good news, viewers. However, we're going to do a few shout-outs. Steve Abbott, first of all, he was in here last week, kicked off the show. Big shout-out to you, Steve. Thanks very much. As well, while we're on the Caversham-Dayton bandwagon, a big thanks to Adriana, Tim, and the Caversham chefs for a fabulous afternoon tea last week, set in the bar. And I can confirm I have recovered from my scone overdose. So don't panic. I have not moved into a diabetic coma at this stage, but I was aware of my blood sugars. All right. I also just want to thank and give a shout out to Weasel. He came in off his sick bed. Good to see him up and about. I think we wore him out though. So Weasel, thanks for coming in to the van last week and lending a hand to put on the opening A-grade match, and we'll get to that shortly. That really means, everyone, that we could use you in our broadcast van. I know as I looked through the stats over the last few days and the scores, saw a number of teams with 7, 8, 9 out and being all out. So I know numbers are tight, but if you're a senior player who's no longer able to play like me, want to play but can't, but want to stay involved, you might be able to commentate, come around, be a part of the van. if you're a young person or want to run the laptop and do our camera work for me while I talk for hours. Also love your help there. Hopefully you all saw our scoreboard. We're working on, behind the scenes, Nathan of Nathan's Event Hire and a couple of others, hopefully working on sourcing a scoreboard we can actually have that feeds in off the Play HQ. It did have a few glitches last week, the Play HQ. So if you can help us hook up a scoreboard, or maybe with our IT specifically, we'd love to hear from you as a sponsor to either sponsor the IT or our scoreboard. All right, so please, just a reminder, get your votes in. Tell us what you think about a Spirit of Sport award or a Spirit of Cricket award throughout the night. Interestingly enough, only a handful of people actually liked the idea. So far, 4. That is almost a handful. But I'd love your thoughts. We'll announce the media awards we'll be presenting at the wind-up later in the show, and will continue to take your thoughts into account as we decide on whether to have a Spirit of Cricket award at the end of the wind-up as well. All right, well, that award is for those who, like me, can't quite achieve the status of getting a mention on our midweek show. And I do know that everyone likes it, but just a reminder, it is a score of 25 or above with the bat that'll get your mention, and either 3 wickets or 3 catches or a good combination of the above. And if you are the club's social media person, few people have reached out. I've got some insight, some unnamed sources out there. But if you've got some sourceable gossip out there, or want to let us know about your club's milestones, events, things like that, then please tag us so we know and we can give a shout out. Alrighty, let's get into it. First and foremost, as always, it is the first grade, just 3, as Steve and I went through last week, just 3 two-day competitions this year, and it was day 2 last Saturday, and we have some results for you here. And an interesting one, grand final, well, they've been competitive in the grand final over the last few years, Les Mazenod and SKLP, and it was a repeat, if you like, but it wasn't a great start for the current reigning premiers. Les Mazenod rolled for 74 in the first innings and then sent in to bat again, putting on 4 for 99, unable to chase down SKLP's 175, giving them the edge in the first match. For Les Mazenod, when you have 74 and 99, it's not hard to imagine there's no scores over 20, so no batting scores there. Jigger Karai took 5 for 10. Yes, 5 for 10. Off 12 overs there for SKLP. Hashid Vasani hitting 48, while Simajot Dillon with 27. Chris Possum Williams showing he's still got a bit of bite in him. He is 6 for 49 off 15 overs there in the SKLP innings. Well done there, Possum. And in the second dig for Les Mazenod, it was Ben Simpson and Matty Wheeler with 45 and 31 respectively. All right, now, the next game, I've got a bit of inside information here. And I take it with a grain of salt because it is a game and we either win or we lose. We never know. However, Carlisle, 9 for 181, defeated by Forestfield, 9 for 186. And apparently this came down to the wire. But first of all, Zaid Reynolds-Harris, formerly of Swan View, he had 58 off 74 balls, batting at 4 for Forrie. Jason Gill chipping in with 25 off 42 down at the tail there to just see Forestfield over the line. Best of the bowlers was Fletcher Page, young Fletcher, taking 3 for 44 off 11.3 overs. However, this is where it gets interesting. This is why we are the home of your news across Perth Swan. I am told by a person at the ground that scores were tied on 181, obviously, there, and Forestfield being 9 down. A catch was taken off the bowling of Fletcher Page. He could have had 4 for 44, but it was deemed to be a no ball by the central umpire for above the waist, as a result allowing Forestfield to stay in and then get up to get the win. So, well, what I'll say to that, viewers, and I've brought it up last week and we touch on it a little this week. We don't want to be extras focused, but, you know, they can change the course of the game, and we saw that in the broadcast game last week. So keep them on the pitch, keep them on the stumps, keep them where the umpire has no room to call you into question, and you won't have a problem. But unlucky Fletcher. Pardon me. Okay, Swan View 261 on day one. They got the win. Hawks Punjabi went from 4 for 44 off 13 at the end of day one to finish their innings on 222. So a good chase there. Good comeback from the second half of the Hawks Punjabi side there, but not enough. Ash Brar with 85 off 159 balls. Ash, that's awesome. Batting at 2. Akash Sandhu had 53 off 45 balls, I should add, with 7 4s and 3 6s. Batting at 9. Well done, Akash. Love to see a good tail wag. In lacrosse, we love to see a long pole goal, and in cricket, we love to see a tail batsman doing well. And I tell you what, 53 or 45, 3 6s at 9, take that any day. And then Sarabit Singh with 34 off 91 at 7, chipping in as well. The old warhorse Leon Otto, 4 for 78 off 20 there. Will Harvey chipping in with 3 of his own for 20 off his 14. But Swanview getting the win over Hawks Punjabi. And in the final match last weekend in the first grade, Bayswater 8 for 274 versus University, who could put together 170. Not quite enough there, guys. 100 shy off 45, but University moving up into first grade for the first time in the Perth Swan Cricket Association. So they'll find their feet. Skipper Will Dawson put on 37 at 2. Josh Elliott, 31, batting at 1. And that 31 consisted of 7 4s. So 28 of the 31 coming from boundaries there for Josh. And Connor McNabb chipping in with 31 at 6. Well, I mentioned Poss Williams before, another old warhorse. I've got Bayswater behind me here because they are the reigning first grade ladder leaders. Wes Morton with 5 for 53 off 19 and proving he's still nimble, taking a catch out in the field as well. Well done there, Wes. Okay, just running through the ladder, as I mentioned, Bayswater on top. Then we have SKLP, Swan View, Forestfield round out the top 4. Carlisle, Hawks Punjabi, Lesmurdy Mazenod, despite that double innings defeat there, sit 7th, and University sitting in 8th. But I'm sure that will change over the course of the season. This week we have pretty much got matches that will be interesting across the board. Hawks Punjabi in 6th, taking on Lesmurdy Mazenod in 7th. SKLP are 2nd, they're taking on Carlisle at Carlisle. Forestfield taking on Bayswater, and Swan View taking on University. That one a tough one for the uni boys out there at Brown Park. But, well, if you're going to make it, you've got to step up. Just a reminder, I'm chasing your feedback on whether we should have a Spirit of Cricket or a Spirit of Sport award at this year's wind-up. Just jump on the YouTube chat there, drop a comment in, say you like the idea, you don't like it, that's okay, I'm open to your feedback. Let's move on now to second grade. Mount Lawley made 183 on day 2, but it wasn't enough. Allenbrook with their 212 getting the win. Angus Watson with 30, batting at 6, he had 30 to go with his 3 wickets, so a good day out there for Angus. Mark Cosso with 28 and Josh Crane with 27. The best of the batsmen there for Mount Lawley Inglewood. While Allenbrook, well, no bowling mentions, but they did have 3 bowlers, all with 2. Unlucky guys, need 3 to get a mention. This second game, well, according to Play HQ, they did not play day 2. So the results from day 1 in the Ferndale Linwood versus Ascot match remain as I saw last week. Ferndale Linwood chasing down Ascot's 83 at 6 for 84, and that was the end of the story there. No Ferndale Linwood batsmen getting big scores. Oakland Penny getting 3 for 17. Blade Holloway with 4 for 27. And Caleb Lamatoa 3 for 18. All right, well, Bayswater started last week at none for 19 off 9. Slow start, but steady start. They went on to make 135 off 51, but again, just being able to chase runs down doesn't seem to be a skill our sides have at the moment. Swan View with 180 getting the win there. Neil Hollister, the only Bayswater player to get a mention, with 29 off 69, batting at 5, while Chevy Jade had 4 for 25, and the Knowlesy that can play cricket, Reece Knowles, had 3 for 22. 6 teams in this competition. Ferndale Linwood, courtesy of that win over Ascot, getting first place at the moment. Swan View sits second, Allenbrook third, and rounding out the 4, it's Mount Lawley Inglewood. Matches today, top and tail really. Allenbrook third, take on Bayswater, who are 5th. Ascot 6th, take on Swan View, who are currently 2nd. And Ferndale Linwood, the current leaders, are at home against Mount Lawley Inglewood. Alrighty, rolling on through, and I'll just take a moment. I'm going to grab a drink in a second, but I'm just going to check into YouTube here, because as much as I've got you up on screen, I could use an assistant in the room here to keep me informed on all your comments out there. Can't see them coming through, so just a reminder, first one through gets a ID Athletic Community Sports Show singlet and bucket hat exclusively. And let's now have a look, as I bring that up, at the third grade. Swan View. Well, this match still shows as in progress, so not sure what's going on there. Results not up. Swan View v Forestfield, 226 Forestfield. And Adam Colburn and Varun Manjaroon, well, they got a mention last week for 58. Chase Emmons had a mention. Moving on, we see University 255 in 58 overs. Well, that's a great effort. Went down by a couple, though, to Ferndale Linwood, who put on 259 for 7. Ryan Kovalev's had 138 off 114 for Uni. Couple of tons here. Alex Brickcliffe, I'll get my teeth back in, made 106 off 129 for Ferndale Linwood. So a ton for each of those two sides there, really setting the bar. Derek Inglis had 45 not out. Prabhakar Basnet had 44. And on the bowling side, not a single threefer across that entire game. Right. SKLP up against Ascot. SKLP getting the win here relatively comfortably. They had 265 on week one. Ascot able to put 150 on the board. But it was our old mate Phil, good old Phil, in with the highest score for Ascot, 34 off 113. While for SKLP, Jayesh Vasani, he did it all. He took an impressive 6 for 58, the best figures so far this season. 6 for 58 off 26.3. Big thumbs up there, Jayesh. Now, as we get to the last of the third grade matches, it is our first top-of-the-table clash of 24-25 season here in the Perth Swan Cricket Association. Forestfield sit on top and they're taking on second-placed SKLP at Forestfield there. Hartfield Park will be the home of the top-of-the-table clash there. If there's any Forey guys out there, if you can hook us up with a link to your stream, I know you're one of the clubs out there doing Frogbox, let us know and we can share that out there as well. Otherwise, we've got University taking on Swan View and Ferndale Linwood taking on Ascot. Those matches 4 versus 6 and 3 versus 5 respectively. Now, with a smile on my face, I need to get my breath. I can see still no one, plenty of people watching, or a few people watching. A big shout out to you wherever you are across the globe. Like cricket and like footy and lacrosse, I have a half-time break. Here in cricket, I'm going to have a couple of drinks breaks, but I'll do it on air just to space it out so I can keep the voice lubricated. As always, it's full of bourbon. No, as always, drink responsibly. All right, for our first opening tea break of the season, I'm going to move across for a second just into the South Metro Cricket Association, a young mate of mine, and it is my show. I say our show. It's your show as well, viewers. But we are sports of all sorts across all areas, and I want to give a shout out to the South Metro Cricket Association, in particular East Freo and Alex Merendino for his man of the match performance last week with 52 off the bat and then taking 3 wickets for 10 to take the player of the match. Well done there, young Alex, but a big well done as well getting to your birthday today. We always celebrate them differently. Different people celebrate them differently. But Alex, happy birthday today, mate. And all the best. I hope you continue your positive spin on life, doing great work out there supporting our First Nations community. All right. Woof doof. Woof doof, woof doof. Better not do that too loud. The dog will want to come in and say hello. But the World Flying Disc Federation World Team Disc Golf Championships are on in just 3 weeks' time. And we've got a couple of VIP passes to give away. Check out the post on our page and make sure you enter that, because you could be treated, not just you, but a friend could be treated as VIPs out in the hills of Mundaring as the World Championship takes place November 6th through 9th. 24 countries, including Australia, taking to the disc golf tournament to see who will be the world champions and then head over to the World Games. Well, break's over. Thanks to ID Athletic Vision Decor for their support as platinum sponsors, but a big thank you as well to Ashby Farrell White Arch for all your real estate needs. Josh Stork also having a birthday today, one of our sponsors, Barna Construction. Big buildings, big civil construction across Western Australia, proudly West Australian and proudly supporting First Nations employees and employers. Building structures, Barna Construction. Happy birthday, Storky. I'll look down the barrel there, mate. Hope you're going well. And of course, Nathan's Event Hire. All the work Nathan Waterston has done has really set us up to have there it is there, the sponsors and the scoreboards and the different bits and pieces. If you want audio visual set up for a party, then talk to Nathan. All right, break's over. As I said, it is time to look at the Vision Decor, one day A grade, not only sponsoring us but a number of clubs, and in fact they've got a prize in the silent auction at the East Fremantle Footy Club, so well done there, Mike. I saw that, as do ID Athletic. Well, in the Vision Decor one day A grade, I called them the Wandering Minstrels last week, and they've found their home at Helena Valley this year, and well, I have to say it was an interesting one because last year Les Mazenod took the double, the first grade and the A grade titles, just like Les Murdy in the first grade. I think they're still finding their feet because Les Mazenod were defeated by Helena Valley, who put on 6 for 216, while Les Mazenod only able to muster a sub 100 of 97 there off 30 overs. Happy Bopperai, he chipped in with 59 off 62, batting at 4, and Ash Yadav, some names you can expect to hear across the season. He had a half ton. He had 50 off 65. Sean Cohen, one of the Helena Valley OGs in that side there, he had 26 to sneak into the mentions there, Shawnee. Well done. But no threefers for Helena Valley. While in the flip side of it, Andrew Robertson top scoring for Les Mazenod, the skipper there, with 45 off 60, batting at 5, trying to steer his team home. But I looked at the score sheet, it wasn't pretty, fellas. I'll find out this week because you will be up on our broadcast. Nearby Sohai took 4 for 24 off 6.4 overs, including 3 maidens, to be the best of the bowlers for Helena Valley. Dianella, well, they're the opposition for Les Mazenod this week, and that's who we're going to see. They got up 8 for 160 off 39.3 overs, just 3 balls left. They were chasing 157 for victory, and they got it just with 3 balls to spare. Jacob Joubert had 73 off 71. I hope I pronounced that right, Jacob. He was batting at 3 for the Sharks, while Jackson Conroy took 4 for 36. Sean Miller with 3 for 26 off 5. The best of the bowlers. On the flip side again, Shrajan Deveretti, he had 58 off 112, batting at 3. And interesting stat here, Shrujan. Well, give it a go, and everyone out there says, can't do it. I'll give it a go, Shrujan. Well done, coming in at 3, and the last man dismissed. So that scoreline, though, for Dianella definitely helped by 35 extras. Best of the bowlers, Zach Cobley with 4 for 32. Coolbinia West Perth, they were at home. They went down, no, it wasn't pretty. 9 for 122. Brabham able to get that. 6 for 125. And I'd say the top of the tail wagged for Coolbinia West Perth here, because Dave Cameron had 37 off 43 balls, batting an 8. And then Brad Younger had 28, not out at 9. So well done there to Dave and Brad, wagging the tail. But Prem Patel, He took 3 for 23 for Brabham. Shashi Chakur hit 34, not out for them. Batting at 5 with Nikil Sharma on 26 and Nisarg Pithva landing on 25 to just snuck in there. Nisarg for a mention with 25. And on the flip side there, Kirk Howes taking 3 for 14. Well, our broadcast match last week, again, thanks to Weasel for coming out and to Caversham Dayton for hosting us. Good facilities out there. Great afternoon to you. Good facilities. Bit windy, but it was an interesting day, and these two sides had a scratch match the week before. It wasn't to be a repeat, though. Caversham Dayton putting on 8 for 192. They got there courtesy of 35 sundries, including 25 wides. Sandeep Brar, the best of the batsmen for Caversham Dayton, he had 39 off 75. Afiq Sawa. I nearly said Afiq Jackson then because of lacrosse. Big shout out to Wembley Lacrosse Club there. Afiq Sawa had 3 for 25. Midland came into bat and we put a clip up. This bloke, Weasel, took great delight in reminding me that we've felt the wrath. Dylan Tucker came out and put on 50 runs off 32 balls, including 6 sixes, if you do not mind. And we put a clip together for Dylan. That was a pretty fantastic effort. They were well on track there at 2 for 100 odd. And then it was a bit of a collapse before, again, the tail wagged. And in just hung around is how I'll describe it. It was more of a bit of a limp tail just hanging around there. They persisted but weren't able to get away with it. Midland 185 off 38. Couldn't quite chase it down. Ali Ashard had 35 off 58, batting at 3. And Pavan Kumar 3 for 25 off 7. A special thanks to Pavan for coming over and giving us an interview after the game. Said in the bar, that's what we hope to get every week. Okay, this week's matches. Oh dear. Did someone say grudge match? Grudge match. I think I might have. Well, Coolbinia West Perth, last year's runners-up in the grand final. They are the side that lost the entire side to Helena Valley, or almost all of it. And it's a Coolbinia West Perth versus Helena Valley match this weekend. Coolbinia at home in 7th place, taking on top of the table, Helena Valley. Midland take on Brabham at Swanview Park there, and Scarborough at home against Caversham Dayton. While our broadcast match, talking today to Joel Kenworthy, we will be at Les Murdy Mazenod this weekend for the match against Dianella to see if Les Murdy Mazenod can regroup or whether Dianella will continue their strong start to the season. As we move into B grade now, some interesting scores here, and I'm not sure. Question without notice. I have no association person to ask here, and I didn't send them my notes, all 19 pages of them. I'm going to put them up after the show so you can all see how much effort goes into this. Couple of matches here that only had 12 overs, and as Steve and I spoke about last week, is 20 the minimum? I thought so, and we'll see how the matches go that way throughout the night. Mundaring 8 for 884. I nearly said 8 for 884. 8 for 84 there in 22 overs. Went down to Glen Forest, who chased it down 2 for 88 in 12.1 overs. Don't know, does that count? Clayton Thomas, the best of the batsmen for Mundaring, he had 33. and a good bloke called Noel Glidden, had 27 not out off 29. But it was Jesse Bartley doing the damage with 3 for 8 off 4 overs, while Jesse followed that up with 28 with the bat, if you don't mind. That's a good session there, Jesse. 3 for 8 and 28 with the bat. In a low-scoring match, that's a good performance. Bad news for the opposition, though. Justin Weaver, he's out, and he's in form, 26 not out off 18. Yokohama Pilbara, 5 for 239. They beat Carlisle, 8 for 190 for Zayn Faisal. 77. Shan Bagash had 54, and Adil Shah had 36 not out for Yokohama Pilbara. Best of the batsmen for Carlisle, and with 5 there were no threefers there. Best of the batsmen for Carlisle, Cale Kirby had 43, batting at 7. Desi David, a big fan of the show, Desi. Spot here for you if you want it, 41. And a big shout out to Mark Forthrop in Warwickshire for his mate Cole DiVincentis, who had 29 to get the mention. All right, pardon me. Hawks Punjabi, big shout out to the Hawks there. 10 for 77. Went down to Ferndale Linwood, I believe. 1 for 79 off 12. Again, 2 games in one grade. B grade need to be better than that. The minimum is 20. Hawks Punjabi 77, Ferndale Linwood 1 for 79, getting the win there. Kulvinder Danjal had 26 off 78 for the Hawks, while Ishan Kulal had 3 for 10 with the ball off 5. And Nadiv Catalanda had 29 for Ferndale Linwood, and Dion Bidner. Well, he got plenty of mentions last year. He'll get a few more this year, I suspect. 27 not out off 27 balls. Heavy sigh, because I don't want to read this next one. If there was someone sitting there, you'd be reading this one out, because we're at Caversham Dayton District Open Space last week, and the first comment pops up, thanks Trent Murdoch, and it was from Swanview Park to advise me that Middle Swan were in big trouble at 3 for 1, and at that stage the 1, I didn't know this at the time, the 1 was an extra, but they rallied, go 78s, they rallied to put on a total of 170. Alex Smith, the captain, chipping in with 38 off 75 at 6, and he was supported by Aman Singh with 61 off 40. Bang, 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 Singh. He done well there. Dan Waterhouse took 4 for... no, he didn't. He took 3 for 15. And Kane Jeffrey, 3 for 32. Midland chased it down. They were 4 for 173. Owen Morris, 59 not out off 46. And a bloke that, I don't want to say he's old, but I remember playing with him back in the 80s. Paul Jeffrey had 41 off 89 there, still going round. Well done, Paul. And because of the only 4 out, there were no threefers in that game either. B-grade ladder sees Ferndale Linwood sitting on top, Glen Forest in second place, Midland third, Yokohama Pilbara fourth, and those two take on each other this week, Midland and Yokohama Pilbara, battle of third and fourth there. Mundaring take on Carlisle 7 and 5, and Middle Swan, well, they've got some work to do. They're at home for the first time this year, taking on Ferndale Linwood, and those matches last few years have been very competitive, so I expect a tough day for Middle Swan, but I say it during lacrosse, I say it during footy, and I'll say it here during cricket as well. Home deck. Enough said. Okay, let's move into C grade. one-day competition. Caversham 118 off 36 overs. They went down to Helena Valley 7 for 178 off their 40 overs. Helena Valley, Gurpreet Brar put on 60 and Raghu Sharma 49. No threefers for Caversham. Arpan Singh had just enough to get a mention. He had 25. Sundry's top scoring in that innings with 27, and 25 of those were wide balls. Southern Rossmoyne. Don't know why I can't tag you, Southern Rossmoyne, but have to work on that. I think you've not blocked us, but permissions to be able to tag you in matches. They had a big win, 2 for 175 off 20 overs now. I said before, 12 and 12 is not enough. Southern Rossmoyne showing what is meant to happen there. Les Maznod all out for 65 off 32 overs. 65 off 32, that is 2 and over. Tough day out there. Southern Rossmoyne, though, they went out, batted their 20, put on 175, and as a result, there were some big numbers here. Amila Dharmapriya, 102 not out. He retired just to have a little break and let his teammates have a go there before Don Jaya Singh came in with 27 to put the result beyond doubt. Lahiru Lahiru, he had 3 for 6, and Osaka Ruben Singh 3 for 14. Some ugly scores there. Mount Lawley Inglewood 3 for 155 defeated Coolbinia West Perth in a close one. 151, 3 balls left in that there for Coolbinia West Perth. Just couldn't quite sneak it over the line. Clinton Reid had 48 and Paul Holmes chipped in with 27 for the Coolbies. Cam Henderson had 3 for 30 for Mount Lawley Inglewood, and Paul Vincent top scored for Mount Lawley with 60 off 82 balls, batting at 2. This next game I have to smile at because there's a bit of banter online. Careful what you say, and this is evidenced in elections and all sorts of situations. Things come back to bite you, what you post online. Bullsbrook, they defeated SKLP in last year's prelim final. They were looking to go again. Wasn't to be. Bullsbrook 115 off 35 going down to SKLP 177 in 39. So good win there by SKLP to get a bit of revenge. Dhruv Gopal had 51. Suresh Villani had 34. Ryan Twist had 3 for 25, and Rory Crosby 3 for 40. And the shortest man out there, without a doubt, Brandon Girardi, chipping in with 3 catches. So well done. Well done, Girard. And I mean that. I was going to be cheeky there, but I stopped myself. Brad Bennett, that's the joy of this. You can do that. Brad Bennett had 35 and Matt Teddy had 29 for Bullsbrook there. Stop and think, no, who am I talking about? Bullsbrook. Maitesh Madhaparia had 3 for 12 and Harsh Patel 3 for 23 off 5. Ladder looks like this. Southern Rossmoyne lead it. Then we have Mount Lawley Inglewood, Helena Valley, followed by SKLP rounding out the 4, Bullsbrook, Caversham, Coolbinia West Perth and Les Maznod holding up the ladder. Matches this week, Helena Valley up against Southern Rossmoyne 3v1. The rest should be tied at least. Caversham up against Coolbinia West Perth, SKLP taking on Les Maznod, and Mount Lawley Inglewood, as I lean in to move the script up, Mount Lawley Inglewood taking on Bully. Well, right there it says tea break. Well, I'm mindful that I'm approximately 3/4 of the way through the run sheet, and I'm about 3/4 of the way through the time. Might drift over, I always tend to. But let's soldier on and just have another quick, get someone to run me out a drink. Not a Foster's lager. I haven't had Foster's since, I was going to say the 70s, but I was a teenager then. Early 80s. All right. Brabham, 6 for 198 in the D grade. Here we are. Brabham, 6 for 198, defeating Darlington, 99 off 35. So just going at 3 and over there. Darlington, Muhammad Ali, stung like a bee, with 26 for Darlington, and there were 26 extras as well. So Muhammad and extras top scoring for Darlington with 26 each. Dalip Singh had 5 for 12 and then 30 with the bat for Brabham, while Amrit Kurt, hang my head in shame, that's an easy one. Amrit Verk had 27 off 16. City Beach, the Goats, well, 8 for 99 in 20 overs. Another good example of how this should be done. They beat Scarborough 53 off 23. And reading that, you would say that City Beach had the score probably around the 12, 13, 14 over mark, and then batted out the remainder of the 20 to put on that 8 for 99. Chris Murphy, the only man in double digits for the Sharks, he had 18. Jordan Brock took 4 for 12 off 7. Tristan Showers with 3 for 3 off 4, including 2 maidens. Alex Daly chipping in with 3 catches there, while Gareth King had 37 runs, and Alexander Daly shows that he can not only catch, he can bat, with 32 off 19, and that included 3 sixes. What I might do is just shuffle forward ever so slightly so I don't have to lean in. Look after yourself, viewers. That's what I'm practicing, what I preach. Dianella, 7 for 193, got up over Southern Central Districts, who put on 173 in 36 there. Good chase, but not enough. Brad O'Callaghan with 46 off 57, and Ayesh Widjasiri with 35, while Sankar Thyagarajan. And I tell you, viewers, everyone says Indian names are hard. All you have to do, talk to the fellows, ask the questions. Thyagarajan, it's not so hard. Sankar with 26 snuck in, and then this is, I'm going to bring my naughty stick out. I need to get a little naughty stick or something. I think I might, if anyone would like to sponsor the naughty stick. And I say that because 7 fill-in bowlers listed for South Central Districts there. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, there were 11. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, but all the way up to 11 fill-in batsmen listed for South Central Districts as well. One of them had 39, another had 37, but we'll never know. I believe I didn't get tagged. We say tag us, but I'm pretty sure I saw a post that said Prabhakar Eddie Rawera had his 100th wicket, but it was Prasanna who battled hard and had 4 for 24, if you don't mind doing the job there. In the final match, Allenbrook, the Rangers, 101 off 32 overs there. I almost thought someone commented. Allenbrook, 101 off 32, going down to Cavi, 8 for 105 in 28. I'm going to presume that is Ian, not Iab Boxall. Ian Boxall, the skipper, had 27 off 39, batting at 3 for Allenbrook, while Brendan Scott, the captain of Caversham Dayton, captain's day out, taking 4 for 17 in 7.1. And on a day where the club paid tribute to his mum, Wayne Sowden chipped in with 3 for 14. Mike Munson, the best of the bats, with 44, not out of 47, batting at 7. Pardon me, almost in the tail there, top of the tail there, Mike, but a good wag of the tail, and hopefully he can help us figure out some access to Frogbox scoreboards and stuff like that. But never mind, Darren Chandler had 3 for 7. Ladder, well, we won't run through it entirely. Brabham are on top, though. Let's have a look. City Beach in second, Dianella in third, and rounding out the top 4 at the moment, it is Caversham, courtesy of that win over Allenbrook. This week, Dianella taking on Brabham. That's a 3v1. Darlington take on Scarborough. That's an 8v7. So all these matches should be relatively close. Caversham taking on South Central Districts out there at the Dayton District Open Space. And City Beach down there on the coast taking on Allenbrook, who will enjoy an afternoon by the seaside. Because we don't see the sea from here. We're out in the bush on this side of the hill. Okay, let's move along as we do into E-grade now. Soldier on. And the first game we've got to have a look at here, there was nothing in the score but plenty left to chase it down. Set a target of 169 by Brabham, who had 8 for 168 after their innings was closed. Swan View putting on 6 for 169 in just 30 overs. Belvinder Singh had 40 not out for Brabham. Greg Smith, 3 for 34 off 7 for Swan View. And with the bat, Michael Sloan, 46. Terry Sturgeon, big shout out to Terry, one of the old school Swan View boys up there going around again. He had 29 and Smithy had 27 to go with his 3 wickets, while Jonesy had 26, Neil Jones and Prab Singh taking 3 for 39 for Brabham in the out of the 6. So he got half of them there, Prab. Well done. Belmont, well, we've had a couple of these, and this one is the first. Belmont, 177 off 36.2 overs. Drew with Carlisle, 9 for 177 after their innings was compulsorily closed. So Belmont falling at the last step there. Dylan Self with 49. Dave Mason, the skipper, with 42. And Mark Hendricks chipping in with 3 for 3 in 2 overs. So bang, bang, bang there. He followed that up with 43 not out with the bat. And Javed Hafiz had 35 as well. And on the reverse side of the bowling stats, it was Milan Velmicki with 3 for 15. Ferndale Linwood, 158 off 34. We'll give your ears a break, viewers. I'll just enjoy the silence. And I'll use this moment to remind you we're looking for your input. Anyone comments, you're probably going to influence it. If you say yes, we will have a Duck Award for the association called the Spirit of Cricket. If you say no, I'll take it that we don't like it, and I will have to put it out to a vote again, but it's not getting a lot of traction at the moment. I thought it might be popular, but been wrong before, we'll be wrong again. All right, Ferndale Linwood, as I said, made 158 off 34 overs there, while Southern Rossmoyne chipped in with 189 off 39 to get the win there. Rahul Trivedi with 59, Apan Acharya with 35 for Southern Rossmoyne. No threefers for Ferndale Linwood, and the only batting mention for Ferndale was Gaurav Wadhwa with 51 batting at 2. Sumit Patel taking 3 for 20. In the final match here, well, I gave him a mention last week. He's a bit of a Maylands legend there, Xavier. And he got the job done. Ascot, 87 off 32 overs, going down to Maylands, who had 9 for 182 in their innings. Xavier Miller with 41 off 89. Jasper Syme with 33. And William Ho with 28. While Ajif Thanagandia I did practice this, but I can't see. That's an L. Thanagundla. Yeah, Ajith Thanagundla. 5 for 28. I've got to make sure I get it right. It's about respect. And Aaron Ward with 4 for 39. Couple of good performances with the ball there. No 25s above Ascot. There were a couple of Goldens. And I'll run through the Golden Duck stats at the end of the night. Joel Hugo getting the first mention last weekend because he was the first cab off the rank in that Middle Swan. Calamity at the top there. Andrew Ho had 3 for 9. So the Ho brothers there enjoying a good day out. Second place, Swanview take on 6th place, Ferndale Linwood. Brabham take on Carlisle. Rossmoyne, or Southern Rossmoyne, take on Ascot. And Belmont take on the ladder leaders there, that is Maylands. F Troop. Hopefully that reference isn't lost. It's an old black and white TV show. F Troop, F grade. Well, Les Murdy Mazenod, and it's fitting that we say it's an old school show because there's a few older names in this list here. Les Murdy Mazenod, 9 for 134 off 29. Couldn't chase down Mundaring, who had 156 for 8 off their innings. And the next generation, I suspect, of Nimmos are coming through. Seb, 32 not out off 80 balls there. Ashley House with 29. And how is this? You go down by 22 round figures, and we saw this in the broadcast match last weekend. I spoke about it at the top of the show, the importance of bowling. And just because I say it doesn't mean I can do it. I should point that out. But I know the theory. 46 extras. That's never going to help. You're basically giving up a half century plus the runs scored off those extras. So anyway, 33 wides there. Going to have to work on that. Dylan Waite had 3 for 23. John Wallace chipped in with 3 for 40. Well, James Tomaselli top scored for Les Murdy Mazenod with 55. Ryan Walters, the skipper, chipping in for Mundaring with 5 for 18. A couple of fifers starting to pop up now as people find their line and bowl on line, bowl on target. This is what happens. Well, Western Wolves, 189 off 36, defeating Dianella. That was a tough day out for Dianella. 9 for 69 off 28. So starting to see a few sides with numbers not, as in playing numbers not quite matching the 11 required. So if you hear that, if you're in the neighbourhood, check out the Perth Swan Cricket Association. We've got clubs from the south of Fremantle to the north of Midland and from the coast to the bush. There is a club for you across the Perth Swan Cricket Association. And with 13 grades, 86 teams, you'll fit in anywhere and be welcomed pretty much everywhere you go. Graham Edwards top scored with 55. Tamoy Mandal had 31. And Muhammad Islam, or MD Islam, had 25. And I mentioned 40-odd extras before. 39 here for Dianella. Wouldn't have helped them, but, you know, there's 40, brings it back to 140, 150. give yourself a sniff, but 21 wides and 14 no balls. I think a tough session in the net with Knowlesy in the official umpire's position. Adjudicating for you might be what's required there, or get the bowling coach out and just hold each other accountable. That's what it's about. Get to training, have a crack, hold each other accountable. Pete Corbett took 3 for 3 off 4.2 overs with 2 maidens in there for the Western Wolves. While Caversham Dayton, well, they made 5 for 92, and that was enough to beat Mount Lawley Inglewood, who put on 90 off 37. Muhammad Ali Dadurka snuck in for a mention for Mount Lawley with 26. But Joey Zammit, big shout out to you, Joe. Thanks for saying good day last week and keeping me stocked up on scones. Well, I'm still working them off. And Rob Beattie, g'day Rob, had 29 each for Caversham Dayton. Ben Pereira had 3 for 15 with the ball for Mount Lawley Inglewood. And in the final match, well, what can we say? This is not a good day out for Helena Valley. They might have won the A grade, but it's about a whole of club approach here is what I'll say there. 49 off 19, they went down to SKLP, 159 off 37 overs. Arun Mashaya with 48, Dishul Kara with 39, and Chris Barker for Helena Valley chipping in with 3 for 31, trying his hardest. While Rashmi Gorasaraya had 5 for 25, and Bhavesh Pindaraya took 3 catches for SKLP to put Helena Valley to the sword. As a result, SKLP sit on top down here, Western Wolves in second, Caversham third, and then scrolling my eyes around it is Mundaring, currently sitting in 4th place, Helena Valley. As a consequence of that, 49 holding up the ladder. And the matches this week, Les Murdy Mazenod v Caversham, Mount Lawley Inglewood taking on ladder leaders SKLP. Tough day out again for Helena Valley. They are taking on second placed Western Wolves, and Dianella taking on Mundaring. Alrighty, that is showing me that we're about to go into G grade, so we only have 3 to go. And I'm not doing too bad. Quick drink here. Foster's Lager. It's got the flavour. Alright, now, in my hot little hand here, I won't pull it into the sheet too much. I have a list of the Golden Ducks. We'll talk about them in a moment. Whether I name every individual or not, we'll see. But I would like to know, whether you think we should have a Association Duck Award at the end of the year, Association Award wind up by us. If you'd like to sponsor the awards, we'll again mention those shortly. We'd love to hear from you. Couple of points here. New team sheet got shared around today. I've been able to see, or was able to see, the new Perth Swan Cricket Association team sheet. Does have a request for numbers, so all clubs in A, B, first and second grade are meant to have numbers on their shirts for the umpires, for reporting purposes, for tracking it on live scoring. Please make sure you fill it out, and please make sure you send us those details as well, so we know who you are when we give you the credit for the ton. All right, post-Christmas coverage. I've shared with the clubs this week our up to Christmas coverage proposal, pretty much trying to share the grades around. We've got a D grade in there, a few A's, B's, first and second grades. After Christmas, though, if you want to have your club broadcast through the community sports show to a global audience, then please let us know as soon as possible, because places are filling up quite quickly and we can't guarantee that we'll be able to fit you in. When you do, let us know. Let PZ know. Tell us what the event, if you're having an event, tell us that, what it's for. Is it a milestone? Is it a club anniversary like we'll be doing for Darlington in, 4 weeks' time? They're celebrating their 50th birthday. All right, now I've changed it up a little bit here, and I might end up doing this across all the grades in the future weeks, viewers. Love to know your thoughts on this layout here. Okay, for the last 3 grades, we're going to list the scores or the results. Then we'll mention the batting performances and the bowling performances. We'll keep it simple. Brabham 125 in 33 defeated SKLP 1. I've got a smile on my face there because the notes actually say 16 in 35. That can't be right. And I can't toggle across now. So we'll write that one up to experience. 125 in 33, Brabham says beat SKLP. I'm going to say 116 or 106. My fat clunky fingers on an old keyboard probably not doing me any favours there. Brabham getting the win. Scarborough got the win over University 177 to 175. Yokai Pilbara batted 20 and put on 172 to get a win over Bayswater, who, as I mentioned, 7 for 81. So if you're in the Bayswater neighbourhood, they're looking for players down there in G grade, while Ascot had an easy win over Carlisle, who forfeited, and that's a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie there. Week 1 and you're forfeiting. Doesn't bode well, but we'll keep our eye on that. In the batting department here in G grade, Oscar Shepherd had 63 not out off 100 balls, batting at 2 for Scarborough. Ben Ingle had 63 off 81 for Uni. Abby Thapper of Yokai Pilbara had 55. Chris Kopek had 54. Hashad Hirani had 47. Then Faizan Tasneem of Brabham with 38. And Advait Vadia of Yokai Pilbara with 33. While Maya Pindoria also gets a mention thanks to his 27. In the bowling stakes here, just 5 mentions, and it's a famous surname. I'm curious if there's any relationship, like many groups, communities. There might be a connection, but Darumava Panacea had 4 for 7 off 5. That's good there for Yokai and Pilbara. Sahib Chima had 3 for 14. Jonathan Borello of Uni 3 for 15. Jack Stockdale of Scarborough had 3 for 19 off 5. And rounding out the bowlers there was Ishan Patel with 3 for 34. Don't mind that way because it just sort of flows. It's a little quicker. Everyone gets a mention. This week, well, we've got our second top-of-the-table clash in G grade here now. It is second-placed Brabham taking on Yokai and Pilbara. This will be a classic one here. Top-of-the-table clash at home for Brabham. Yokai and Pilbara with a good performance last weekend. Am I brave enough to make a call? No, I'm not. Not this early. SKLP, they are 6th. They take on University, who are 5th. So winner there, hoping to try and stay in contention. Bayswater up against Carlisle, a battle for 7th and 8th there. While Ascot take on Scarborough for the battle for 3rd place in the H grade. Okay, strap yourselves in, hold on, get your Great ID Athletic and Vision Decor merch out because you're going to be blinded by this. H grade. We've seen some low scores, we've seen some good scores, but in the H grade competition last weekend, not a single team made less than 100, and across the games there was over 1,500 more than 1,500 runs made across the 5 games. So H grade showing how it's done here. Running through the scores, Glen Forest 4 for 151, beat Brabham 148. SKLP 5 for 136 off 20. I've said it before, I'll say it again, they're doing it right. Were those 12 over matches counted as legal? Coolbinia West Perth 3. Oh, hang on, go back, Noel. Rewind. SKLP 5 for 136 off 20. Defeating Bayswater. Sorry, Bays, you have to go back to give the score there. They had the lowest score of the round, 9 for 100. Coolbinia West Perth, 3 for 175 in 29, getting up over Mount Lawley Inglewood, who had set them a target of 174 for 8. And City Beach going down 151 to Western Wolves, 7 for 185. All right. Oh, actually, there is one more. Can't avoid it. A bit like the match up there in A grade we heard about between Carlisle and, I feel like saying Forestfield off the top of my head. This match also coming down to the wire, and some interesting conversations have come across my news desk here. Middle Swan, 8 for 170 after their 40 overs. Allenbrook, 9 for 170 off their 40 overs. Now, I hear, and this is why it's important that everyone learns to share the jobs around, I hear that there were questions asked of the scorers, but no official umpire here. Questions asked of the scorers, how many are needed, because it was coming down to a nail biter. And the question was asked a few times. The answers came back. The question came back, are you sure? The answer was yes. Then they came off. They double-checked. And there was a discrepancy. And instead of getting the win, there was a draw. And that's an important lesson for everyone out there. Use live scoring. You can backtrack and fix it up. If you're not sure, stop, get your captain to go off and double check it. But with the new score sheets and the new umpire reports and the match sheets where you list all your numbers, thanks everyone, just a reminder on that. When I saw it today, pretty much it does what I would have expected clubs and umpires to have done anyway, which is to confirm at the breaks what the actual score is. Not that hard. You know, you go in, you double check, you go, what are we? Yep, okay, we're good. Sneak in while you have a quick drinks break. The rest of the team's out there. Jog over, make sure it's all looking all good. Otherwise you have moments like this. In the other matches, SKLP 136 off 20, Bayswater 100, Coolbinia West Perth 175. And as I mentioned, City Beach going down to Western Wolves there. Batting lineup, batting scores here. Well, we've seen a few so far, but down this low, this is a great effort by a number of batsmen here. Abhi Singh had 104 not out off 123 balls, batting at 2 for the Western Wolves in their win over City Beach. So realistically, 104 out of the 185, they're over 50% of the score, and he's watched players fall all around him, so good performance there by Arby. Dov Morris Perkins had 84 not out off 83 for Coolbinia West Perth. Cooper Walsh, also of Coolbinia, he had 54 in their win over Mount Lawley. Way Calhoun of Glen Forest had 53. Dave Washbourne had 52 for Mount Lawley. LB Dennis, 49, not out. I'll come back to that one in a moment. Don't worry, I haven't missed it. LB Dennis had 49, not out, off 129. Juggy Stevenson, or Justin Stevenson, 48 off 74. Paramit Singh had 44. Kishan Patel, 37. And both Sunny Singh and my Tim Kurana bagged 33. And I'm going to lean in. I'm going to be a bit less subtle here. They had 33. Brian Taylor, 31, not the commentator. Carl Blewett had 30. Amit Patel, 29. Mitch Carey, 27. And then 25s getting in here just Phil of Brabham, our old mate Phil in. And Vitok Kalai had 25 as well. But I think the performance of the round for H grade probably has to go to this bloke, Hamish McNichol of Middle Swan. And it may be a coincidence, but I think it's based on form here. Abby did well with 104. But Hamish, 50 off 111 balls, 3 for 21 off 8 overs, and 3 catches. So batted, bowled, and fielded, the golden trifecta there for Hamish McNichol. Phil Sinagra, well, he had 4 for 15 off 4 for Allenbrook, and I don't suspect there was any deliberate deviance there. I rate Phil as an individual, known him for a long time. He had 4 for 15 off 4 overs for Allenbrook, as well as a couple of catches. I'll give those two a mention to go with your 4. Muhammad Hussain had 4 for 25 for Glen Forest. Charles Holloway had 3 for 24, and so too did Gary Bula, while Hiram Bandari had 3 for 30. Govinda Singh, 3 for 31. AJ Kang had 3 for 37. And Hari Mangat of Middle Swan chipping in. He got a golden, but we'll mention that in a moment. Or will we? Harry with 3 catches in the field there. Well done, Harry. SKLP a third. They take on second place Glen Forest. Brabham take on City Beach. Western Wolves at home against Middle Swan. 4v5 there. That should be a good test for Middle Swan. Allenbrook up against Mount Lawley, Inglewood and Bayswater. This is going to be a tough one. They're in 8th place. They take on the ladder leaders. That is Coolbinia West Perth. Well, here we go. I've got to the I grade, and it's great to see the I grade in there, and it's great to see no forfeits here. Actually, there's a... no, I cannot see them in there, so I'll allow it. I grade. Swan View get the win over Forestfield, 5 for 133 compared to 102. Allenbrook 9 for 145, defeating Bullsbrook in the Battle of the Brooks. 144 in 38.5, so just going down there. Ferndale Linwood 172, beating Les Murdy Mazenod 6 for 166. Good chase down there. Dianella 7 for 65 off 21. That's never going to be enough. SKLP made it interesting though. 5 for 93 off 25. And Coolbinia West Perth 150 lost to Yoko and Pilbara. 4 for 155. And as we have a look at the performances here, Bo Austin of Ferndale and Neil Skitsy Warden of Les Murdy Mazenod topping the goal. Seasonal transitional disorder. Bo Austin and Neil Warden had 46 runs each. Rowan Toms of Bullsbrook, good to see you back there, Tomo. He had 45, so too did Nick Sykes, so a couple of copycats there. Ryan Kennedy had 43 off 43 for Swan View including 7 fours. Ali Hassan Saeed, 38, not out. Craig Mitchell, Foss up there, 31. Chamara Srinivaratne had 29. And our final batting mention for tonight, in the positive, was Justin Pullian with 27. 35 extras bowled by Forestfield, though. If we go back up to that match there, again, they lost by 31. They bowled 35 extras, 12 wides, and then as much as I smile, I call it as I see. I've hung around with Jesse for a long time. 12 wides is bad, but need to get someone that can stop the balls as well. 18 buys in amongst those 35 extras. In the bowling stakes, well, Anthony Lee had 5 for 33 to be the best of the I-grade bowlers for Les Maznod and across the competition. Jacob Sykes of Bullsbrook, 4 for 18. Jaden Garlick, big shout out to you, Garlo. He had 3 for 11. Rowan Toms can bat and bowl. He had 3 for 24. And Matthias Radford with 3 for 37 to round out the bowling mentions. This week, just running through, Swan View are the ladder leaders in I-grade. Forestfield taking on Allenbrook. Bullsbrook taking on Dianella. Yokeheim Pilbara taking on Ferndale Linwood. Coolbinia West Perth at home, but they're up against Swan View, so that'll be a tough one. SKLP taking on Les Maznod to round out the I-grade competition. Well, let's get to the finish where I can see it there. Let's start by celebrating not just our sponsors, ID Athletic and Vision Decor. We appreciate their support and continued support, not just of us, but the clubs and associations out there. 85 out of 86 teams across 13 grades took the field last week. That is a 13 or... Now I'm starting to doubt myself. It says 12 there, but I think there are 13 grades. Okay, well done to you all on getting out there. Okay. Last year, it was a big popular success. So we're going to do it again this year. We're going to have a community sports show, media awards for the Perth Swan Cricket Association wind up. If you'd like to sponsor that and help us recognise the efforts across the competition, we'd love to hear from you. We're going to do, and this is where we've got the need for help, because we're going to do at least 6, possibly 7 different trophies. We're going to have the one-day competition, regardless of whether it's A, B, C or D, the largest audience for a one-day match. We're going to have the largest audience for a 2-day match, but while you're in one-day mode. Tuesday T20s are back this year. They get underway mid-December, I should say, for 6 weeks, thanks to ID Athletic. The ID Athletic T20 is back. And across those 6 games, we will have a trophy for the largest audience of the T20. Tonight I get the trophy because I am the midweek guest, but we will have a recognition, a bit of a thank you to whoever comes in and sits in here and goes through all this with me as the largest midweek guest audience. We've also put up our first contender for the broadcast moment of the season, Dylan Tucker with his 6 sixes out of 50 runs to set his side up. Unfortunately unable to get it there, but we will have a broadcast moment of the season award. We'll put that out to a popular vote at the end to consider the award. Will be a secret vote. Have to figure that out somehow. We'll recognise your club media personalities. Peter Sharp last year taking out the award for all the work he does and the promotions he does of Coolbinia West Perth. we'll have a Club Media Personality of the Year award. And this is the question that nobody seems to want to answer. Should we have a Spirit of Sport or / Spirit of Cricket award for the most individual ducks or golden ducks? Putting it out there. I've got 3 duck awards, in fact. I'll just sneak off camera. I can reach 2 of them. There they are. Duck awards are still awards, and as much as everyone says, oh, they're duck awards, what they do is show I was out there and having a go, and it's all about how you look at things. So we've gone through all the highlights. Ducks are lowlights usually. Should we recognise the fact that you're out there having a go regardless of the scores and the stats? Let us know. I'll leave it open for another week or 2 to try and get some numbers in there. But speaking of numbers, this was a tough week. 18 golden ducks in week 1. 1 in first grade, 1 in A grade, 2 in B grade, 4 in D grade, 4 in E grade. That's where the bulk of them come from, D and E. G grade had 2, H grade had 2, and I grade had 2 as well. On the club scale, Scarborough and Middle Swan, well, they've both got 3 each. That's not the start you want, Sharks and 78s. But looking at the stats, and I've got them here, looking at the stats, I would say that if your name starts with J, you're in trouble, because a third of the Golden Ducks went to people whose name started with J, and you're in even deeper trouble if your name is Josh, because 3 of them went to Josh's. Darlington, Ascot and Carlisle all have 2 to their name. Forestfield, Bullsbrook, Uni, City Beach, Caversham and Mundaring, all with 1 each to their name. I won't read full names, but here is the list. There it is. For the viewers at home, there it is. 18, and I'll just mention first names here. Peter, Josh, Joel. Josh, Jared, Phil in for Darlington. Trent, Josh, Dylan, Sabor, Ajith, Sarath, Anthony, Kale, Harry, there you are, Harry. Private for Middle Swan, Lockie. Why is there a private player on Middle Swan? Brett Harley of Forestfield, and Bully had a fill-in as well, who also had a golden duck. So 18 in the first week. Up to you whether we recognise the clubs, the individuals, or... Because my thought here, viewers, and I'll just share before we wind up, I'm mindful that it's time to wrap it up. If we give it to the clubs, it might be disproportionate, because in reality, if you've got 5 teams and you all get 1 a week, there's a lot more than a club with 1 team. So not sure how we work that. Maybe we bring it back to individual ducks so that it's on the person and we can recognise that they've had a tough year. All right, well, it's not going to be a tough year too much. Just a reminder, we are calling for your expressions of interest for post-Christmas coverage. Get in touch, and please remember, we do need you. If you want to host a game, you're more than welcome to put your hat in the ring, but that will then require you to bring someone into the studio on a Wednesday night. On Saturdays throughout the season, we've lost Donnie Bell, unfortunately. Weasel joined me this week, or last week, but I don't think he's available this week, so I need help in the broadcast van, behind the mic, behind the camera, or on the laptop. You can help us take local sport to the globe. Speaking of local sport and global audience, this is a global event. It is the 2024 World Flying Disc Golf Team Championships, or Disc Golf Team Championships. taking place in Mundaring in 3 weeks' time now. We've got a double VIP pass to give away. Check out the pinned post for that. Well, I'll thank all the viewers. I have seen you online. I've seen the numbers steady throughout the night. So thank you for joining me here in the studio tonight. No guest to thank next week. We will have, speaking of next week, this weekend our coverage. Just a reminder up there at Rayo and Les Moody Mazenod taking on Dianella in the one-day A-grade competition. Next week we're back here in the studio Wednesday night, hopefully with a friend to come and join me. And then next Saturday we head down into B-grade to see Glen Forest take on Middle Swan up there at Birkinshaw Reserve after we've got approval from the Shire to get onto the ovals. Don't need approval to get great deals though. Whether it's Vision Decor for your curtains, blinds, awnings or even hybrid floorings, they'll look after you. Mike and Lise Rash in Malaga. Great products, great prices, great people. And ID Athletic, as I puff my chest up there, they're actually working on a new dart shirt for us because the Community Sports Show has a darts team in a local competition. ID Athletic can help you and your club build your identity with a great range of merchandise and club apparel. On and off the field, you can look fantastic, just like I do. Thanks to ID Athletic, we appreciate their support. Well, that is pretty much it. It's a wrap. I'm going to sneak in because I've got to look across and upsize this so that I can see what buttons I'm pushing here. That is pretty much it from me, Noel Nosey Johnston, here on the second edition of the Perth Swan Cricket Association midweek show. Until Saturday afternoon, wherever you are, please take care, stay safe, enjoy yourself, and as I hit this button, wherever you are, take care of yourself, but please take care of those around you too. They're important as well. See you soon.
Across the globe, you're here on the Community Sports Show.